Ryan Fitzpatrick, and again, ask your questions in the chat and we'll start answering a bunch of them here in a second. I wanted to talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick too, who said, I can't be as picky as Matthew Stafford. I would definitely welcome a move to the Patriots if that's what's in the cards for me. Where do you stand on now? Because I'm a little bit lukewarm on Fitzpatrick. I think a lot of people overrate him just a little bit because he's a fun guy to root for. It's mania, it's Fitzmagic. But really, when you look at his career, he's only had one winning season as a starting quarterback.
Well, how many? We had this argument last week. How many seasons has he started more than 8 games?
Well, that tells you a lot, though, right? That no team, other than the Jets for a couple of years, and I think Buffalo for a couple of years in 2011 and stuff like that, not a lot of teams have hitched their wagon and said Ryan Fitzpatrick is our starter.
Right, but I'm not signing Ryan Fitzpatrick to, like, I think you're misinterpreting the point of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not signing Ryan Fitzpatrick to say, that's my guy, let's go win football games with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm signing Ryan Fitzpatrick because I know I'm going to have a young quarterback coming in, and I want a guy who's been around the league. I want a guy who has experience that he can share, and he can work with this younger quarterback, and he can teach him. That's why I'm bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not bringing him in to start 16 games. Right. I'm bringing him in to do exactly what the Dolphins just did. I'm bringing him in to start until the bye and then hand over the keys and just have him teach the next guy. So I'm not worried about. And look, he is fun to watch. I won't discount that. After the year we just had, it would be nice to have a fun quarterback to watch. I'm not bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick as like the guy, right? I'm not bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick in the same context I'd bring in Derek Carr. I'm not bringing him in the same context I think the Patriots would bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. I would use Jimmy Garoppolo in the way I just described Fitzpatrick. I don't think the Patriots would. I'm not like, that's a different tier. If they sign Ryan Fitzpatrick, that tells me they're taking a quarterback with the 15th pick or higher. That's what that tells me. They're not signing Ryan Fitzpatrick to go try to win with Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's not who Ryan Fitzpatrick is. That's not who he's ever been. That's not what that signing is.
Right. That's a good point. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that I see, in my question, when I get questions, when I get replies about Ryan Fitzpatrick, think that the Patriots could go out there and win 11 games with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's not it. The question is, when we talk about the bridge guy, who is going to be the best facilitator to put that rookie quarterback in the best place to succeed right away? I don't know that there's a better option than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Maybe Alex Smith. I think that they're kind of 1A and 1B there. I'd go Fitzpatrick just a little bit ahead of Smith because if he gets hurt, right, if Smith gets hurt, you have to rush the rookie quarterback in. Fitzpatrick's proven to be more durable. But is there a better teacher? Is there a better true bridge guy? Not a better quarterback, not a better chance of winning, but is there a better true bridge guy by the definition of the word than Ryan Fitzpatrick out there? Again, I think Smith maybe, but that's it.
Right. So my question is do you want to go in the route of a high-end bridge guy like a Derek Carr, who I don't know if you're going to say to Derek Carr, here's a 5-year contract and we want you to be the quarterback for the next half decade here in New England, but you're definitely going to get better production out of a guy like a Derek Carr than you would out of a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick. So at least your short-term ceiling is a little bit higher in that regard. And I just feel like with Fitzpatrick, first of all, and some of them are not good turnovers, but they don't count. They don't hurt as much as others. But Ryan Fitzpatrick is equally a turnover machine. We talk about Cam being a turnover machine at times last year. Ryan Fitzpatrick is right up there in terms of turnover machine. I think that's a big question mark, though, is what's the goal, right? Is the goal to just bridge the gap, or is the goal to compete and bridge the gap?
So what I would say is, what do you think Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to cost you? Just give me a number.
What, $6 to $8 million?
$6 to $8 million. Derek Carr, I believe, is around 22 million, 20 million, $22 million cap hit. And we've talked about this. One of the biggest advantages of having a rookie quarterback is, or a quarterback on a rookie deal, is you get to go spend all this money elsewhere and help that guy.
Right.
Having a $22 million bridge guy, doesn't that kind of negate that advantage? And also, I'm going to get chewed out for this take. I don't think I'm in the majority in this take. If you have a guy you really believe in, not like a Jared Stidham who's a project and maybe he'll make it, maybe he won't, not a Jamie Newman, not that guy. If you have a first round, top 30 quarterback pick that you really believe in, I don't know if I want a guy who's going to be more competitive as the bridge, because we saw what that did. And I know it was Fitzpatrick, but he played above and beyond. He's not going to play like that in New England. Like, that guy succeeding can really be a mental pretzel for the rookie. I want a guy who is turning the ball over, who is going to kind of open the door for the next guy. I do. I don't, if you draft
Ryan Fitzpatrick, because he'll turn the ball over, and
that's what I'm saying. Like,
for sure.
If I draft a quarter, because you mentioned the short-term outlook, and that's fair, but that's a really short-term outlook. If you're looking at 6, 8, 10 games, whatever, before the bye,
right? That's
a really short-term outlook. If I take a guy in the first round, I don't care about those 8 games. I really don't. My goal is to I am acknowledging the fact that unless you really hit it, like Justin Herbert, and not every rookie quarterback needs to be Justin Herbert to be good. Some guys don't really hit that step until year 2 or year 3. I am fine with the fact that there might be another 7 or 8 win season if I'm going with a rookie quarterback and Ryan Fitzpatrick as the bridge. I think that's something you need to be okay with, because if you get too competitive, and look, I know it's a good problem to have 2 good quarterbacks, but if Carr comes out and he's slinging it, what does that do mentally to the rookie who's waiting to come in? And then you have to deal with the locker room schism,
right.
and who wants this guy and who wants that guy.
I think the biggest thing is if you're going for Derek Carr and you have Derek Carr on the team, then you're probably not drafting, and I hate
you're right.
You're probably not drafting a quarterback this year. You're probably not drafting the Mac Joneses of the world. You're probably go for the Patrick Mahomeses of the world, right?
Right, but you just mentioned using Carr as the bridge. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. So I'm looking at Carr as like a 2 to 3 year bridge, similar to how we would have viewed Matthew Stafford if he had come here.
Yeah.
And then what you do, I think Carr can carry you until you can take that big swing, because maybe they do fall in love with somebody in this draft, and all this is a moot point, right? But if they don't love anybody in this draft, then I would rather go that route than I think with Cam Newton last year, we were on a road to nowhere. They were in the middle of the league in terms of record. They didn't really, other than Jacoby Myers and I guess Damian Harris too, but that's separately from the passing game. There wasn't a whole lot of development. N'Keal Harry obviously did not develop any further. The tight ends did not develop, the rookie tight ends. To have that kind of step there, I think is really important, to the point where in 2 years, maybe you have something in Devin Asiasi. I don't really think you will in Dalton Keene, but maybe you do have something in Devin Asiasi, and maybe you do draft somebody in the draft this year that ends up being good. And then when you get to that point, 2 to 3 years down the road, you fall in love with the quarterback, you go and you get him, and then you can hit the ground running. I just look at the way that the Chiefs did it, and you have that Alex Smith guy that's in there for a couple of years. You find Travis Kelce, you find Tyreek Hill, you develop those 2 guys, and then you have this amazing quarterback situation for the next guy.